Hi, Mark McKenzie from Wardle Partners Accountants and Advisors in Caloundra. I've been trying to get as much help out to our business clients as possible, and the subject of insurance has raised its head a little bit, and coincidentally a professional firm of insurance brokers that I've been dealing with for many years, our firm, was in contact with them only a couple of days ago, and it's just amazing how much is going on out there in the insurance world, inquiry and different things that can be done, and so many things that I wasn't even aware of. So I'm really excited to have the privilege of having Ian Ferris on with us today, and he's going to go through some of the things that he's finding and dealing with at the coalface with Covid-19. So it's a real privilege to have you on today, Ian.
Thanks, Mark.
How are you going?
Yeah, really good. Certainly, plenty of our clients have been keeping us busy with inquiry, but all to varying levels. But we also are in a small business, so we are feeling the same thing with staff working remotely and not being able to communicate the same way we do. So we're trying as much as we can to be on the front foot to get clients confident about what they're dealing with rather than sitting there waiting for something to react to. So that's what we're trying to do.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, how about just a bit of an introduction about yourself and your wonderful team of brokers down there?
Yeah, quick soapbox thing. We've been looking after the coast since 1992, been in Caloundra for the last 19 years and dealing with you guys for the last 14. We've got a team of 11 staff that we work currently all remotely. Fortunately, we've got an awesome team that we've had now stable for a number of years, and everyone's pulling in the same direction. So we're all trying to do the same message. Looking after clients, whether they're ours or not, right at the moment is pretty paramount.
Yeah, no, that's great, and yeah, I can certainly vouch for your team, and you know, just ourselves included, the work you've done for us over the years, and for our clients, and all the great feedback we always receive when we pass on referrals to you guys. I know you wear your heart on your sleeve like we do. And there's a great correlation there, serving clients and making sure they get the best outcome. So, like I said, it's an absolute privilege to have you on today. And you know, what's the sort of things you're sort of seeing out there with businesses with the advent of this COVID-19? What's the sort of stuff you're hearing?
Yeah, probably early in the piece, we're getting clients with premium instalments and cash flow issues and that sort of thing. So we're trying very much to get people to be on the front foot with that, and not wait until they have debit failures and that sort of thing. There are ways that we can spread instalments out if they've got funding room left, or if they've got premium monthly instalments with insurers, you need to get on the front foot of those, because if you get one or two of those fail and you haven't been in communication with them, some insurers, whilst things are changing at the moment, can automatically cancel policies as part of their conditions. Okay. So it's very important to get on the front foot. There's a few changes around at the moment with insurers and the ACCC and the ICA all talking about how to deal with this financial hardship. But until those things all actually get put down as far as what they're going to do to give some flexibility, you've just got to be careful how you go about making measured choices with your insurances, not leaving yourself exposed by cutting things up that you shouldn't, and just making sure that you understand the results of if you change things, what can happen if you do those things. So we're just trying to educate people as much as we can to make them confident that they know what they're doing.
Yeah, certainly, you know, in times like this, and if businesses are struggling cash flow wise, well, one of the strategies is to obviously look at the tree and trim back expenses as much as you can. But yeah, I think what you're saying there is certainly go very easy on pruning back insurances. And you know, what have you got to say about that, where people, oh yeah, I don't, you know, because it can be a little bit of a, you know, I haven't used that for a long time. I've never, you know, I'm paying this every year and I've never needed it. And I can imagine that'd be a thought process for people. You know, what have you got to say about that?
Yeah, it definitely is, but it's just a matter of understanding that certainly the insurance is an overhead, but an uninsured loss is far bigger than an overhead might have been at the time. So you just got to balance that stuff. And particularly if there's financial encumbrance involved, you got to make sure you're not actually breaching what your financier has in their contracts by not insuring things appropriately. So there's lots of things you can adjust. So there's a few different parts of policies that you can look at. If you've got a reasonable turnover, your liability insurance can be adjustable on turnover. So if that's significantly reduced, might be able to make an adjustment there. If you're paying decent amounts to subcontractors for any work that they do, that also inflicts on what your premiums payable. If you're a business that has stock and you're not currently replenishing that with cash flow and sales down, you can look at maybe reducing that. But if and when we get through the other side, you've got to make sure that when you put that stock back in, you just make that little adjustment on the insurance so you don't end up with under-insurance implications, which could bite. So that sort of stuff is just little things to be mindful of, whilst we're definitely understanding people trying to minimise costs at the moment. Don't cut your nose off to spite your face with what might hurt at the end.
Yeah, that's really good advice, and just goes to show, talking that through, why it's so important to have the right people around you, and insurance brokers and advisors are certainly one of those key professionals you need around, especially this time. And then, yeah, like you said, if you are trimming at all, don't forget to increase it back when we're all level sailing again in time to come.
Yep.
Anything else there that you're sort of hearing on the ground there people are struggling with, or some tips you've got for people with their insurances at this time?
Yeah, there's probably a couple of other little areas you can look at. If you do have a decent wage roll, have a chat to WorkCover Queensland, because you might have the opportunity, if that's come back significantly, your estimate, what you provided last July for the September to September period, will be vastly different, and you could end up with a policy credit for that.
That's a great one. That's the first time I've actually come across that. That's a great little idea.
Yeah, so and it's actually not something we do, but we try to think laterally about what else could affect you.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because obviously we're speaking to so many businesses, and they're either been closed down, or they're worried they'll be closing down soon, and there'll be massive reductions in payroll. And that's something I hadn't actually thought of. That obviously the adjustment will come through in July, but your key point is that now, when cash flow is so critical, every little bit helps, and you're saying that they'd be able to look to get a credit now rather than later.
Well, at least get that stuff in the pipeline early so that you can make those adjustments. You just put yourself in a position you know what's happening.
Yeah.
If there's businesses with a fleet of vehicles that are, particularly if they're not financed, then they're currently in a garage, locked up, not going anywhere. If you're really desperate to make some savings, you could look at doing third-party fire and theft for those vehicles whilst they're physically not going anywhere. But maybe we've sort of suggested that you put a sticky note or something on the steering wheel that if and when you want to go and use that car again, before you drive it away, increase the insurance back up to the way you would like it to be. And then something else, not in terms of saving, but residential landlords policies, particularly if they've got rent default and tenant theft on them, if you've got a policy that has that cover, don't change it, even if you can't. If you can find something cheaper, just still don't change it. All of the insurers now that are not taking on new policies with rent default, and even Allianz have gone one step further, that if they do have the cover, from renewal, they're physically removing it from their policy. So there's a bit of uncertainty about governments making sure you can't tick your tenants out, even if they're not paying rent, and the impact that might have on insurance. So if you can keep that cover, I definitely recommend you keep hold of it.
Yeah, certainly this whole rent thing, it's a big conundrum, and there's been more stuff come out in the last couple of days. So that's really good advice. Yeah.
Yep. So probably all in all, just encompassing that, we're telling people not just from our point of view, but make sure you talk to your accountant, your legal people if you need assistance there, your finance brokers, your insurance personnel, and certainly if you've got any business coaching involved, get them to help structure how you plan to get through it and put yourself in a strong position to punch out the other side when the door opens again, because it will. And fortunately, we're seeing improvements in the infection rates, particularly in Queensland, have been really encouraging. So whilst they're talking 6 months, fingers crossed it might be sooner, still things start to happen. We want all the businesses to be there at the other side.
Yeah, so true, and it's great to see the community, both in our professional worlds and even just generally bandying together like really we've never seen before. It's really encouraging, and that's what's going to get us through at the end of the day. It's really great peace of mind for myself that I know that we've got such a long relationship with someone like you that we can trust, and turn to, bounce ideas off and all that sort of thing. And I imagine there's going to be a lot of people out there that maybe have tried to do insurance on their own, or they're feeling a little bit lonely or unsure about their circumstances out there at the moment. So if that's the case and they're watching this and they're, thinking about maybe contacting you, is that possible? And what means have they got to be able to contact you, Ian, if they want to do that?
Yeah, certainly we're happy to take a call or an email, whatever's least intrusive. And like you said, you don't have to be a client of ours. We're happy to help because we want to get you through it. Just get that, ask the questions. And I always say to people, questions are good. If you've solved the question, it's not bouncing around in your head any longer, and you can just focus on what's more important. If you can get confident about the insurance, you can move on to something else, and it's not something that's on your to-do list any longer.
Yeah, and I know you're a very hands-on type approach to dealing with your clients and going out on site and sitting down with them and making sure you understand everything about their businesses and all that sort of thing. So it must be really tough for you at the moment, stuck, but obviously we've got these communication means to help with people. And what is the best way for people to contact you, and what are those? Is it email, your website? What's the best way?
Probably, from this point of view, probably my mobile at the moment which is 0417 628 072 if you want to give me a call. No obligation for any of it. And we'll have a chat. But like you said, up till now, we've very much been a relationship type marketing business where referral business has been our biggest sort of way of marketing, and then visiting clients in their business premises has been what we have proud ourselves on. So that's going to be challenging because we physically can't do that at the moment. So there will be embracing technology and Skype calls and Zoom and getting people to take photos of their own business to send to us to be able to do insurance quotes and the like. But you've got to be dynamic and do what you need to do to look after the client the best you possibly can.
Yeah, we're all adapting to change and quickly. It's going to be certainly a different world on the other side. But look, Ian, I really appreciate, I know you're a busy man, and I really appreciate you taking the time today to share some of those insights. So many of them there that I wasn't even aware of. Yeah, we'll put out your details with this as well, your number and whatnot, to make it easy for people to contact you if they do. So yeah, on behalf of Wardle Partners and our team, we wish you all the best there, Ian, and we'll keep in touch. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Cheers.